welcome. Oh, I gotta go to the little camera. Hi, welcome to my live painting stream. Hey, over there. Put the camera over there for now because I wanted to capture the stream, the video here. And welcome to this we're just gonna chill out. I don't usually stream on today's Monday night, but we're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna have fun. I don't know about you. I mean, it's up to you if you're gonna have fun or not. So I have gone ahead and sketched out my reference here. To date, I'm going to be working on the importance of being earnest. This is the reference that I have created. That is Ernest Worrell, and he is very earnest. And it is, yes, I'm sorry for all you purists, it is an AI image that I'm going to use as a reference for my earnest painting, the importance of being earnest. And so people didn't believe I was. So what we're going to try to do is go ahead and just try tonight at least maybe get Ernest's face in there. If I can succeed in that, that would be probably pretty good. I'm not going to worry about the woman tonight because I think the skin tone is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to go a little more pinker skin tone on Ernest's face there. So, and just kind of hang out with me and we'll just do this thing, all right? Seriously, yo. Get you a little closer. I haven't mixed any paints. I haven't really started at all. So we're going to go through the whole process. I'll keep my chat window open so we can chat and talk and hang out. But otherwise, let's try this. So what I want to do, at least what I'd like to do, I approach these paintings looking at like light direction um, and the kind of blocks of color that I'm going to work with. Look, I'm not. I'm just telling you my process here. I'm not an expert painter. I'm literally doing this for like, oh, what do we start? I started probably in July, so 6 months or so. So this is my 6 months process of going here. So let's pull back my Ernest picture so you can see my mouse. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do. I'm looking at kind of the faces structures. There's going to be like this portion here that I'm going to try to create. Looking at midtones, right? You know, when you're looking at a painting like that, where you're looking at a photograph like this, I'm looking at the light direction. I'm looking at particular hot spots and how I'm going to approach this thing here. So I'm kind of visualizing where I want to put everything. I think what I'll do is I'll start with midtones, figure out some shadow detail, and then add highlights, and that'll be a good start, I suppose. All right, and what I did was I projected this image onto onto my canvas, and I traced it out. Yes, I traced it out. Bad boy, right? I'll get my reference up. Say hi in the chat. I can see ya. Let's see, man. We'll put this over here. Put my chat over here. Let's see. Maybe I'll put my YouTube statistics over here. I'm here. I am live. Hi. So say hi in the chat if you are joining me for this little live stream. Otherwise, this will be very, very chill. I do want to mention I did see, I did watch. Oh, how Brad Fogel, click says hi. I pull up your guys' comments. Hold on, let me get my screens set up here. Go in here. I want you to go inside this little box there, right here. And like underneath it, though. I can't do that. Let's see, maybe I do that. Maybe I do that. Something like that. Ooh, just sat down to a blood orange cider. That sounds so good. I forgot, I need to get something to drink. I think I'll be okay for a little bit. Can I take it off? No. Okay. That sounds really good, Brad. I would love to have a blood orange cider nightcap. That sounds amazing. And Click Clack says howdy and all y'all. Audio sounds good. I am using hey, my on board professional level headset, a broadcasting headset. So it does sound really good. I love the sound of these things. I paid enough money for them, so I should absolutely love them. All right, so I'm going to put a couple brushes. I'm going to start with my fat brush to lay in. I think I want my. Where are you? Uh-oh. What happened to my big fat brush? Oh, shoot. Did I leave it in the bathroom? Might have left it in the bathroom. And so the stream grinds to a halt as I go and try to locate my big brush, which I think I left in the bathroom. So I will be right back. Let me put my headset down. Be right back. All right, I am back. Okay, so yeah, I like this. For starting out, I really like using this. See if you can see this particular flat brush. I feel like it gives me good coverage for the size of canvas that I'm doing, and it's a good way for me to start. So I'll go ahead and go down a little bit. So you can see my palette. I'm using a piece of glass, which I really like. I discovered these razor blade, like paint removers or decal removers they use for. Now, it's really once the paint dries. I'm working in acrylic today. I mean, I don't. I'm just terrified using oil. Frankly, I probably should learn how to use oil, but I'm just scared of it because I'm new. So skin colors, I'd start with cashew. I like cashew. Um, since there's a little bit of pink I'm seeing in the color, I might go a little bit of red ochre in there. I think that'll be a good basis of my colors. I think we'll I think that will be a good start. We'll just lay these down and see how they go, okay? And then I usually like to do a little bit of this retardant, like acrylic paint retardant, and it kind of gives it a kind of a slows it down a little bit. Are you going to sleep? Not. Nighty night. All right, so, and I'm very, very sloppy, so I apologize. If you are watching this and you're a painter, and you're actually a good painter, unlike me, you might not like what I'm doing. And what can I say? I'm learning. So if you have tips, go ahead and send them. But, I am doing what I'm doing. Not great. Not very efficient either. But I have fun, and I have fun ideas. We can try to use a palette knife. I'm never good at palette knives. Alright, so give myself a little bit of retarder. Start off with some retardant. Since I'm not going to be doing too much, I won't go excessive on the paint. But I'm kind of going for some midtones. So I'm going to do mostly cashew and just a touch of the red ochre. Because like a little bit of darker paint does tend to like work itself into. You guys can kind of see that. Let's mix it up together. It's a little thick. Might need to put a little bit of water in there. It's funny. I try not to be a dick about it. When I go to art class, and I sit, I usually do my own paintings because I like doing portraits. And the class, I don't think, I guess people are scared of doing, excuse me, people are scared of doing portraits. I've discovered I love them. But, so the rest of the class doesn't always do portraits. They're doing something different. And usually I sit there, and this lady is there. She's a nice lady. but she always erases. She spends a lot of time erasing. And not that I'm against erasers, because God knows I love erasing stuff. But every time she erases stuff, she bumps the table. The table just keeps bumping and bumping and bumping. Oh, that was the moon when I stood up from my camera? Well, sorry. My pants are above my crack, I think. Well, it is that night. It is Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas, all. Y'alls. I am alone this Christmas. I'll probably go to a friend's house, but I don't have any particular plans. I'm going to make some Brussels sprouts for our Christmas dinner. I think they're going to have some dinner, something for Christmas. I'll make some Brussels sprouts. After Christmas, I do have a prime rib roast that I'm going to be doing. That's probably good. Okay, so that's a good base, medium. So I'm going to go ahead, my big brush, I'm looking for kind of mid-tone area, and I'm just going to start applying some. I'll go ahead and move the camera now to the actual, there we go, and up we go. Something like that. Zoom out a tiny bit. Up, up, up. I'm using the OBS bot camera today, Tail Air, to stream over NDI. So that's what you're seeing today. Alright, so I think for the most part I might just kind of do a base wash on this one. And just kind of go in there and just get some color into everything. I'm not too concerned about covering up everything here. I'm just going to kind of put some color down just so we have some base to work on. Then we'll kind of add shadows. And I find that the painting takes shape after I do highlights. So right now I'm just kind of laying down some color for the base of Ernest P. Worville. Now, I've been doing a lot of celebrity portraits. Celebrity puns is what I've been kind of doing. I'll show you real quick before we get too much further in this. This was one I just finished, and this is Wednesday's Fat Tuesday. So that's supposed to be Jenna Ortega. I mean, it's close. It's not as close as I'd like it to be, but that's pretty good. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill in the color on the face. Cool. It's not a bad mid-tone. It's a little, definitely on the cashew side, not so much of the pink that we see in here. Let's go ahead and add in, I'm going to add some of this burnt umber to kind of, so I'm basically mixing a little bit of burnt umber to the mid-tone that I've created, and I'm going to create kind of an offshoot of a darker tone. Okay, and I'm going to be looking for, I'm just going to create some shapes that I see here. Just to kind of give myself a little bit, something to work with here. You like the Mardi Gras colors? Yeah, I thought that one came out real. I was really happy with that one. All right, let's see here. I may kind of go a little silent because I'm trying to concentrate a little bit about what I'm doing here. But I do kind of like just to create some sort of definition. So I do like a little bit of dark tones here. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll get the nostril in there. A little bit of, I'm finding myself kind of running out of already kind of in the tonal. I feel like I'm already getting some of the the tones in here pretty quickly. I mean, it's. I was telling my one of the teachers, I was saying, I like painting male faces. To me is easier because there's a lot of angles, and it feels like you can do a lot with male faces that are just straight up like hard angles tend to work better. But female faces tend to have, you have to be a little more gentle with them. And that's why I feel like I can do male faces pretty easily. And she's like, "Oh, that's great. You know, I love male faces." I'm like, "Well, yeah, but the thing is, I like female faces." She's like, "What are you, a weirdo?" I'm like, no, of course not. I'm just, I like my female faces. Yeah, I'm already feeling like that's. I don't know if you guys can see that. I feel like there's a lot happening that I like already. Off to bed. Merry Christmas, Brad. Have a good one. And the rest of you, 10 people watching, enjoy. We're just going to hang out today. Ain't going to be super, like, we're not going to get super into anything disgusting. Yeah, I did want to mention, though, I did see a movie that was recommended to me from one of our guys, right in the regulars. I don't know if he'll be here because it is a Monday night. Usually it's streamed on the weekends um, during the afternoon. But he recommended to me Hundreds of Beavers. And my God, that movie is amazing. I love Hundreds of Beavers. I wish I could say I've loved Hundreds of Beavers, but I love Hundreds of Beavers. Unbelievable. That movie is incredible. Like I put it on because my friend, well, because the my regular here mentioned it, and I saw it on on Amazon, and I thought, well, let's put it on there and see what it looks like, how it works, and I fell in love with it right away. Like it was really something. Now, some of my friends, it was a bridge too far for them. Like they really just did not like it. Like hated it, I think. But I fucking loved it. It was it was absolutely amazing. What is it about? Well, Hundreds of Beavers is about an Applejack salesman. Applejack being the kind of like liqueur, right? An Applejack salesman who uh, gets drunk on his own supply and um, accidentally destroys his operation. Accidentally destroys his operation, and then he's left with nothing. So he has to sort of get back, everything that he's worked for, and so he has to start from the scratch. And it sort of has very like Minecraft almost kind of concepts. It's very much Minecraftian kind of approach, and so he befriends a fur trapper, and he finds this marketplace where he can sell his fur traps or his 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 the fur that he catches. He falls in love with the shopkeeper's daughter, and in order to win her heart, he must submit. He must find hundreds of beavers. Now, the great thing, all the beavers are played by people in suits, so it's very stylistically humor. I mean, the humor is very stylized. So, and I'm going to add some warm gray now. I think I'm going to try warm gray, mixing with my midtone. We start establishing some highlights, and because now we're going to highlight territory, I've done much as I can with my flat brush. I'm going to start moving toward my round brush, medium round brush, and that will go ahead and allow me to do a little more detail. So I'm mixing warm gray into my midtone flesh. It might. I'll go with warm gray for now. I might, and I'll probably eventually just go into adding the titanium white to it, or whatever the acrylic version of titanium white is. So why do I think um, hundreds of beavers made for like $100,000, $150,000 apparently, and it is wacky. It is very very wacky. Describe it as sort of a. I'm not sure this is going to work. This is too light or not white enough. I'm going to head and I'm going to just jump in with some white because I need the titanium white. I find if you thin out the titanium white and what it does is it will kind of become translucent against the color, and it'll make the highlights work rather than it won't necessarily become pure white, but it does sort of bring in some of the whites back in. So anyhow, yeah. So hundreds of beavers, absolutely hilarious to me. Just I was on the floor dying with this movie. I'll be honest, I don't feel like I'm concentrating as hard as I should be. But then again, with all these paintings, I always find that when I first work on them, I absolutely hate what I'm doing. It takes me a couple hours before I feel like I'm actually making some decent progress. One thing I wanted to mention, and it's something I've been thinking about a lot, is I go on Reddit. I probably shouldn't, but I go on Reddit. And I see, oh, I got some brown in there. I'm not liking what I'm doing right now. But I go on Reddit, and I often see young people say, how can I automate this process? People are in a hurry to get things done. And I've also gonna notice it too. Like I go to the art class, and I see someone who wants to be a professional artist, and they're working on a painting, and they just start at the beginning of the class, and then by the end of the class they say, well, I think I'm done. And I'll be honest with you, they're not done. Like you shouldn't be able to finish a painting in like an hour and a half. Like not a big canvas. Maybe you could do a small painting, but like there's no way you can pull off a painting in an hour and a half. Like he was working on a huge canvas, right? Again, not mentioning names here, in case my art teacher's watching. But my point with all this is, like, I appreciate art when I can see the work involved with some art. Like, I like to see the work. I like to see detail. I love seeing detail. I love seeing, like all the little brushstrokes. I love seeing all the effort that went into a painting. That's what I like. And also, I think when we start moving into the world of AI, those details are going to matter more and more and more. It's going to be less about the actual, the result and more about can you see all those details. Now, as I've been kind of saying recently, it's like AI is going to take over the crap. It already has taken over the crap. Like, like Temu ads on Facebook are going to be largely AI. That's ads on and Facebook are going to be largely AI. All that stuff is going to be AI. But what am I getting at? Other than, yeah, but oh yeah, so detail. I like to see detail and work. So yeah, that one student, I don't think his painting was done. I felt like he needed to spend at least another To be honest, another 10 hours on that painting. This painting is going to cost probably about 10 hours. We're not doing all 10 hours tonight. And oftentimes what it takes is it really does take me kind of staring at it and saying, what am I doing wrong with this painting? And I'm already, as I go in here, I'm already already seeing some of the issues that I'm having. At this point, it might be good for me to do some dark details, some shadows. You're dropping down to 7 viewers. Not too many viewers tonight. Well, that's okay. We are just painting tonight for fun. I'll go a little closer on the actual painting itself. We are just. I'm not going to even concern myself with viewer numbers tonight, as I lie to myself. Of course I'm concerned with the viewer numbers. I'm gonna go. With a. Let's go with a dark brown, like a straight up dark brown, and just paint in some of the more shadowed details, like the really dark darks, and get some of those dark details in there. So, yeah, I definitely did love Hundreds of Beavers. I rewatched, showed my friend Beetlejuice 2, because I wanted to be able to just have someone to talk to about Beetlejuice 2, and it was on second viewing, not too bad. I mean, it's not great. It's a very forgettable movie, but it's still kind of fun. Still kind of a fun little romp. Okay, we're going to go a little detail there. So, practicing sort of some discussion, talking while I'm painting. Let's see here. This is a tricky expression because he's doing sort of a side smile. So I'm trying to get this kind of a then I think right below the eye there's a little bit of shadow here that I want to kind of add. I don't know. I'm feeling like there's potential going on in this painting. There's potential. It's getting there. It feels like it's gelling. Keep going a little darker still. Don't be afraid to talk or chat. I will answer chats as they come in, as much as I can at least. I got my reference on my screen up there, so I'm kind of seeing. So I am definitely doing the wrong angle on this nose. So even though I cheat, I'm not going to call it cheat, even though I did trace this image, there's a lot that happens between a trace and when you actually paint the thing that goes wrong. There's a lot of weirdness. Alright, I think I gotta go. I'm gonna start going into the black. Well, let's do some eyebrows. Let's get some eyebrows in there. Oh, I feel like we're getting there. Do people on here know who Ernest P. Worrell is? Or is it just people of a certain age? Because I have really kind of gone ahead and like really start to appreciate people like Ernest P. Worrell, which is played by Jim Varney. If you didn't know. He was a character actor in the early 90s. Did a lot of commercials and then made some really obnoxiously bad movies. Like Ernest Scared Stupid, Ernest Goes to Jail, and Ernest Saves Christmas or something like that. I don't know. I didn't actually see them. I shouldn't be so cruel in calling them obnoxious. I mean, they might have been fine movies. I doubt it. But as I get older, the more I tend to more and more like some of these characters, especially from my past. You know, like Ernest, Pee Wee Herman's grown on me a lot. As a kid, I didn't like Pee Wee Herman. As a kid, I really did not like Pee Wee Herman. It's weird. But as an adult, my God, I think he's hilarious. Or was, at least, you know. No, Pee Wee Herman has become one of my favorites. It's just, find myself liking sort of a fun abandon of humor. People that are willing to just go nuts on the humor. All right, so it's starting to get there. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and start introducing some black to get anchor some details that I want to anchor. Actually, one more hit of brown here. I want to make a sort of a sideways U right here. I noticed that is something that I definitely want to bring in. Sideways U. Something like that. So if you're watching and said, John, this sucks, you are right. Because it takes lots and lots of layers to layer up and blend and blend and blend and blend. I am very much a blender kind of a painter. I blend, blend, blend. I never good enough to just leave a little, just leave it. There we go. I always blend, blend, blend. I also, one of the things from my experience in doing some what do you call it, miniature painting. I haven't painted miniatures in a long, long time, but one of the things I've always known in miniature painting is that once you get the eyes in there, you'll find that a lot of the painting kind of starts coming together once you do the eyes. So sometimes it's good to do the eyes early so that you don't feel so rotten about the whole entire painting. Because then at least you'll feel like, oh, there's some life in there, and then the rest is just gravy. You're just trying to find some more life in the rest of the painting. So I want to try that. I want to try putting some detail in the eyes as we continue to go ahead and continue blending and all this stuff here. So I got my white here. I'm going to use a little bit of this gray, just a tiny bit, and mix it with the white. See if we can go ahead and there's just a tiny detail of his eye right there. And then there's the catch light of the eye. And then that's really it for that side. Maybe I'll just put a little catch light right there. And then I think I need to come back in here and put some more of the lower eyelid, because that lower eyelid is a little more prominent in that section there. There we go, something like that. We're bringing that eye down a little bit. Not too shabby. We're getting there. It's getting there. Okay, let's go ahead and do some of the teeth. Why not? So it doesn't look so, because the teeth are kind of like, I mean, the way he is smiling, it sort of needs the teeth in order to, unless he looks like he has no teeth. So it's good to let's just kind of put some teeth in there so that we have a visual of where the teeth. That's starting to look a little more humanoid, right? It's a little closer to what I'm going for. It's got a very painterly look, and it's kind of cool. Although I'm never satisfied with painterly. Painterly is not enough for me. So now we just continue refining. We continue refining and continue blending. So I'm going to go ahead and blend some more, maybe of a lighter color, and just continue working with some of these lines and stuff. So I continue blending it in, blending, 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 blending in. Fact is, sometimes what you do, what I find is that it's not really even blending so much as you kind of want to even add some highlights, because the highlights kind of, you know, lighting is all about contrast. So having contrast, having certain highlights sometimes tend to sell the painting better. I'm liking where we're going with this. I'm definitely liking where this is going. So like I notice like one of the strong highlights is on the nose. So if you put like a little thing on the nose, it kind of sells the effect some. A little bit over there. I think this is too bright, so I need to pull that back a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Now we're talking. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking that. So I purposely wanted to do this painting tonight because I wanted something with a really exaggerated like facial features. And who else has more exaggerated facial features than Jim Varney, Ernest P. Worrell? Of course. You know, he's got super exaggerated over the top facial features. And that's what I wanted to go for today. Like the other idea I had was Silence of the Yams, which was going to be a Anthony Hopkins painting, but it was going to be a very dry expression, an expression that I've already painted with the Wednesday Addams. I wanted to do something a little more out there, and it came up with this idea of the importance of being earnest, and I like the idea of having a girl in the background too, because then I can paint a girl. Because, as I said, I like painting girls. I like girls in general. I know I'm weirdo. But I just enjoy painting. Like to me, this painting of Ernest here is not done, but I'm very happy with how fast it came together. Like it came together so darn fast that I'm super stoked. But the fact is, I want I want a lady in there so I can spend some time on the lady. Ladies are more fun to paint. I'm gonna do this kind of little sideburn sort of a thing right here. The shadow that kind of comes down. I want to feather it in here. Maybe I'll just go ahead and do a little more. A little more detail in the hair. Blend hair and skin together, kind of pull together, so it sort of comes together. All right, it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. Say hi in the comments if you want to say hi. Let's see. How can we continue making this better? Oh, I think some more little highlights. Let's look at the nose here. Let's kind of bring the nose. So I was asked the other day if I have an inner monologue, and I do. Oh, hi, Troy Gilhardio Art. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you too, sir. And the thing is, I do actually have an inner monologue in my head. And so maybe that's why I can probably do this live stream. Because I have an inner monologue, so I just basically can let my inner monologue take over. Let's try bringing it down a little bit. That's pretty good. Kind of dig that. He's got a little like a Ronald Reagan thing going. At least I'm getting like this little bit of Ronald Reagan-esque kind of feature. Well, I'm definitely seeing Ernest here. I don't know if you guys can check it, see it like from whoops, whoa, like from a more straight on. Hello, wake up. There you go. From a more straight on angle, it's starting to look a little more earnesty. It's getting there. It's slowly but surely getting there. Again, like it's all to me. It's all about the detail. All about details. The more detail I get in there, the better. Not the more detail. It's all about the details, guys. At least for me. So yeah. Anyhow, what I was saying about this one artist that I felt like wasn't putting enough time into their art. Same way I feel about like movie making. I just had my final for the class, and I'll be honest, I would have liked to see some of the students do a little bit more effort into their finals. Like next semester, I think I'm going to hit a little bit harder, like my expectation, because it seems like a lot of low effort, and that's the thing I do not like. I don't like to see low effort in art, any kind of art, movies, videos. Low effort is, as I'm doing a live stream with only one camera angle. That is low effort. Well, this is not that kind of art. This is a hangout. But I want to see effort. I want to see effort in movies, and that's why I loved um, Hundreds of Beavers, because it's clearly not low effort. They really did a number getting all those beaver costumes. They got a lot of beaver costumes. They got a lot. I'm digging where we're going with this. I'm not convinced. I'm not quite happy with where we are yet, but it's definitely going there. And for you guys just joining the stream, here's my screen. This is the reference I'm going for. We're getting there. We're getting there. And for those that are joining late, it is definitely inspired by AI. But this is how I use AI as a reference tool to create my art. So I mean, it's AI. It starts with AI, but I manipulate the AI to create what I want to create, which is Ernest P. Worrell. So I'll be honest, I'm very happy with where we're at with this because it's a male face. Like I'm not as super critical about male faces. I'm still gonna continue like blending and doing stuff to it. But like I'm extremely happy with it. Which I'm sorry guys. I mean I didn't mean to be this quick about it, but it feels very close to where I'm trying to go. I mean, yeah, there's gonna be. I'm gonna look at this over the next couple days and be like, well, this needs this something here. This needs some more work done here. But as far as like where the shadows are landing, I'm pretty happy with it. I guess I shouldn't apologize for shit like that. I just think that's the thing with male faces. With me and male faces, I'm not so hypercritical because I guess, I don't make a habit of staring at men's faces all the time. But women's faces, they need to be done right. Which this painting affords me the challenge of doing more than one face here, which is this one woman in the background's face. This girl back here, I'll be honest, I kind of picked her because it was a girl that I was very much in love with. And oh shit, my light went out. There we go. And she kind of reminds me of that girl that I was deeply in love with, and it did not end well. Oh no, it did not end well at all. It's a little bit. Um, it was before I had the balls to actually tell women that I liked them, and I thought, she knew that I liked her, but she didn't. I wasn't very clear about that. And probably went on a date. I didn't know it was a date at the time, but I went back to her place and I bungled that. Yeah. So, but I mean, she doesn't look that good anymore. So I don't feel too putting some detail work in the teeth here. Little tiny details. Sometimes you don't even need to, otherwise it just looks a little too cartoony with the teeth. But I'll have to come through and do a little bit of shading with the teeth here. Yeah, I don't like that with what happened to the teeth. That's okay. So I think what I gotta try to do is create a little more wrinkles around the eyes here, because I think I overdid it there. Oops. Well, I can always come back and hit it with a lighter, because Ernest has a lot of little wrinkles that kind of give his face that character. I don't like what I'm doing, but I'm going to go ahead and lighten them up again in a second. But yeah, that girl in the background reminds me of a girl that I used to know. And it's kind of my one of my archetypical, beauties. I'd love to. I want to get back into doing some photography again. I haven't done like portrait photography in a while. John, you're just ruining the painting. I know. I know. I feel it. I can feel it. Just ruining it. That's okay. A lot of times I feel like I'm ruining it, and I just have to come back and just lighten it up again some more. Just want to add some more shadow to this part of the face. Yeah, I think I need to come back with the mid-tone and just sort of blend it all again. Again, there we go. That's starting to feel better. And just blend, blend, blend. That's how I feel. Blend, 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 blend. Anybody else see some movies that are interesting? This year, I swear to God, the movies are not looking good, man. Like I was telling my friend, we were kind of going through. We are going through like Netflix and HBO Max, and it just lamenting the fact that nothing looks good. It's just it looks like a like just hundreds of boring movies, like or stuff that I'm not interested in. I gotta come back here and try to blend this back. I'm not liking that at all. Although definitely feel like it's definitely coming together, but I need to blend this like a lot more. But it's definitely liking where we're going with this today. There we go. That's starting to blend there. That's starting to maybe a little more of that light. Right there. Then we can blend this over. Not bad. Whoops, I meant to type I saw red one. Oh, red one. I heard some pretty bad things about red one, so I didn't go for it. Um, but yeah, red one is a movie. Some people said it. It's not that there's messaging or movies that I don't like. It's just that there's nothing interesting. Like, I mean, I liked Wicked. Still want to take this one girl to see Wicked, but I'm waiting for her to be more free. But no, like I think what I need to do is just go for it, and do some of this hair over here. Maybe I'll mix a little bit of black and brown and just put in some hair so that we have something to anchor. I should work on the ear. I'm never good with ears. Ears are not my thing. Oh, here's some hair. And come back underneath it. Hair is a very difficult thing for me, so this will definitely be something that I'm going to practice today. I'm just kind of laying down some base. I'll come back and do highlights on the hair in a little bit. Maybe not today, but I just want the hair to be there so I can kind of visualize what's going on with the hair. I'm going to go start transitioning to brown because there's going to be highlights underneath this on this side of the hair. Oh, there we go. Let me go ahead and tighten up that hair around the ear a little better so it doesn't look so chewed up like a... There we go. Something like that. Okay. Let's try working on that ear a little bit here. I need to come in there like that. Little dimple on the ear this side. And then yeah, I don't like drawing ears is difficult for me. I'd rather draw a hand than an ear because the ears are so. I don't think they're iconic, but like if you don't do them right, they don't look right, obviously. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just putting some black down, but I want to come back and lighten that up because that does not look good. All right. So the update on my what do you call it? The my studio is I got the permit. Permit's getting almost ready to go. Now it's just a matter of waiting for them to give me the bill for the permit, and then we can start next year with the actual construction of the studio in my backyard. And don't get too excited. It's a like about a 400 square foot. There's gonna be like a. It's gonna be about. I don't like this ear at all. I'm sorry, guys. I hate this ear. I am definitely not a fan of the shape of the ear. I got the shape all wrong. I'll deal with that later. We'll paint over it. So yeah, right now I'm working on my front yard, trying to get that more presentable. We just laid down concrete on that. So that happened, and we're working on during the Christmas week. And we're working on doing some of the greenscape that I want to do up there. It's starting to get there. I don't know. I think the camera doesn't quite capture as well as I think it looks. I think it looks better in person. I just generally think that in terms of paintings, paintings always look better in person than they do in digital media. You know, there's so many more colors than just Rec 709. Maybe I should start looking at paintings in HDR. All right, let's see what else we can. I think I've avoided lips, but I need to go ahead and do some lip work. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go with a very light bit of vermilion. Maybe I'll just attach a touch of vermilion, mixing with my base tone skin color. I think that'll work. Yeah, you know, the good thing about filmmaking, as far as the painting is concerned, is it really has given me some bases in color theory. Although color theory is a little bit different when you're taking with like paints. Maybe throwing a little bit of brown in that. There we go. Yeah, that's getting better. I need to draw in the tongue too. Something like that. Maybe a little white on that. Trying to go for like the tongue color. Going a little bit more white. It's like I noticed the tongue color is very pale. So I want to go ahead. Just laying it down in here. I'm going to have to refine it quite a bit. Alright. I definitely have to refine that. Alright, let's come back here and do a little more of that lip color right here. There we go. Yeah, so definitely doing filmmaking, photography, and all that gave me kind of a sense of color, light, proportions. You know, all that good old stuff. To kind of make paintings, or at least understand more like the bases of these concepts of like color, shadow, light, that kind of stuff. Okay, that's not bad. And I'm going to go in there and lighten up the lip with a little highlight. Mixing white with my vermilion here so I can get a kind of light pink. And probably do a little more highlight. Maybe just brush it a little bit there. And then maybe just hit some tiny little, very thin white right about here. Yeah, try to blend those in a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if I dig that. That's okay. Paint over it. It's acrylic. Just paint right over it. I'm not sure how else to do this. Maybe just to put a little more, just a tad, real thin black around the mouth, maybe. Maybe that will kind of help. A little separation. I said earlier that I was liked where we were going with this. Now I don't like where we're going with this. We're back into the I hate it mode. I don't hate it, but I'm finding issues. Finding issues. Issues are me. What else, you guys? 9 folks hanging out there. Say hi. Alright, let's... Little tiny... There we go. I'm just kind of doing a little bit of chin work here. Alright, let's continue. Maybe, I think it might be a little darker along this edge here. Yeah, that helps. Trying to bring in some of the movement in the mouth. I need a little more of that. My burnt umber is drying out. I need to go ahead and mix a little more. Okay. Like a little detail right there. Bring it under. Alright, we're getting there. We're getting there. I feel like I should probably work on something else. Well, and let this portion of the face dry. I'm not completely happy with it yet. It's obviously going to need a lot more blending, a lot more detail work. But it is a very good start. I'm very happy with the start. I want to try something with the cheeks. What if I put a little bit of vermilion in there? Yeah, that's starting to feel. That sort of just blends together. It sort of just adds that warmth to the face that I was looking for, that I was losing. I think that vermilion is definitely going to be a secret to this painting. Having a little bit of the vermilion to my base tone will really make that kind of a pinky kind of flesh. I lost some of my shape in my face. That's okay. I'll bring it back. But yeah, so this is how I paint. I literally just keep layering and layering and layering and layering until it starts to feel more cohesive. Now, I don't like to see. I mean, I like a little bit of brush stroke, but I don't like to see too many brush strokes. I'm probably this vermilion inside this pink, like this white. Add a little vermilion to my gray. Maybe a little more white in there. Let's try that. No, I think it's a little too vermilion. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I probably need to blend that back in a little bit. Yeah, that's not bad. Alright, so I'm trying to think what to do with this. Needs to be like a sharper, little tiny sharp edge to his mouth. Like it needs a little dark there. Bring it down. And then maybe a little dark down here. Oh, you guys can't see. No wonder. Alright, maybe down here. Bring it up a little bit. Because the eye... I think the eye's a little too small, too. I need to get the eye a little bit bigger. Let's go ahead and bring that eye just a little bit bigger. There we go. Cool. So there's this muscle here that's in the corners of the mouth that I want to try to emphasize. As a trumpet player, these are very important muscles, and we see them a lot in trumpet playing. I want to kind of put that in there. Good. And then we can kind of outline the cheek a little bit. I think I went overboard. Let's blend it in a little bit. Good. I maybe need a point where I need to make it even go a little bit smaller on the brush size. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with smaller brush. We're going smaller, detailed brush. Let's see. I think this smaller brush. Yeah, this looks smaller. Alright, now we're getting nitty gritty. Anyhow. So, what else is new? What else can I talk to you guys about? I don't like that. There we go. It's getting there. It's getting there. I feel like we need to do something here. Like there needs to be a little like that mustachy kind of, stubble. There we go. Something like just darken it a little bit will help it out. Get a little bit of that part right here too. May not be quite in the reference, but it will help, I think. Sell it a little more. If it's there. That little thingy. I don't know what it's called. Perineum. A little more on the white on that nose. Oh, I need to do some white on the teeth too, so I can... Yeah, sometimes the outlines too are just too cartoony. gotta kind of come back and thin them out a little bit. Real bright on these two teeth because we have the lights from the highlights from the light. That's pretty good. I'll attempt one more chance at these little lips. It's okay. Probably need to maybe come back with that vermilion and go over it again with the vermilion. I think I made it worse. Can't decide whether it's good or bad. More lips. More lips on the red. There we go. Maybe that'll help it out. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm saying. If not, that's okay. Hi, click, click. All right. Is it looking good? I don't know. It's getting there. Still got a ways to go. Got a lot of ways to go. Lots of ways to go. I feel like there's this like underlip right there. Yeah, that's starting to make more sense. Yeah, it's getting there. I feel like maybe I'm at the point where I should probably continue working on something else in the painting, and then I'll come back to this face a little bit more. I want to do a little bit darker up here. I think it'd be a good idea to do the hat. The hat. So what I'm going to do for the hat is I'm going to go ahead and mix up some blue. Some blue and some black. And we'll do the lower brim of the hat, so we'll get that started. I think I'm going to need a little more than that. And then we'll do sort of, probably pretty good, pretty dark under hat. I want this sort of bluish looking hat. This is the under brim of the hat. Cool. So that'll be kind of on the darker side. Looks like Jim Varney, right? Got a little bit of Jim Varney going there. Okay. And then this portion will be kind of a darker side of the hat as well, but I'll go ahead and mix a little bit more blue into that. So it's not quite as dark. There we go. And blend that together. There we go. And then on the other side of the hat, we'll just use straight up blue without the black mixed into it. Kind of just eyeballing this here. I'm going to go ahead and there we go. Might have to come in there with a little bit of blue and white to lighten that side of the hat a little more. Hat. I always think of Sunday in the Park with George. Never seen that play, although I've seen it online. Honestly, it looks too don't know the term I'm looking for. It's too like artsy for me. I get mixing some blue white here. I get when things are too artsy, they can kind of turn me off. Like it just feels too like artsy, artsy fartsy. So I'm kind of working on the brim a little bit here, so I can just create a little brim here action. That's what I love about painting is that I can create the effect relatively quickly, and it's really quite pronounced. This just this three-dimensional feeling just by mixing together these colors. So there's a little bit. I know a little bit of Jim Varney's face. It's certainly getting there. It is certainly getting there. Well, that's not a bad start. I'm ruining it. I know. It's a constant battle between like ruining it and thinking you're trying to make something better, but you ruin it and then you break it before you fix it, kind of a thing. Sort of the way my painting works is I break things and then I fix them. I'm definitely not an efficient painter, as my arts teacher would say. Like, am I efficient? No. I break things and then I fix them. Something like that. Alright, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to tackle the girl. Because I want to. Because I am not gay. Alright, let's take a look at the girl. The girl is super soft. So I gotta be pretty... I'm gonna go with a lighter flesh tone that I have here. It's my base, so I'm adding some white into this. I'm gonna go with a pretty light flesh tone to offset too the comparison. So I'm gonna go ahead and sort of fill in her face. So I'm gonna go ahead and just draw in her lips, her eye. It's gonna go in all. We're gonna go all the way. Got some blue still in my brush. That's okay. That's okay. How you doing, left-handed puppetry? Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. I'll definitely go with a light, definitely lighter around the, when the two skin tones meet. I definitely want it to be a lot lighter. Yeah, so I picked this so I could definitely do a girl's face too while I'm here. So that makes me happy. Painting women's faces is making me happy. Get your dirty animals, get your minds out of the gutter, you filthy animals. Okay. Let's go ahead and now do a little bit more on the shadow. Let's work into the shadows a little bit more. Should we give this woman a pearl necklace? Hey, knock it off, knock it off, you dirty mammal. Dirty animals. Alright. I'm add a little vermilion to it. Why not? Ooh, that didn't work so well. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. I'm going to have to be spending a lot of time with this female face. Holy moly. This is going to be very difficult. This will be harder than Jim Varney was. Jim Varney was nothing. Let me go ahead and fill in the eye sockets. Oh, there, I ruined it. I just ruined it. Alright, let's continue on. It does look creepy from the camera. It looks a little creepy. Like something's behind him, Jim Varney. Something's behind you, Jim Varney. What is it? It's alien. It's a creature behind you. Behind you, Jim Varney. Alright, let's add some highlights now. Now, the female face, again, like I said, very much different because you have to go with lots of soft features. So it's a lot more blending required with the female face. Let's see here. Not bad. We're getting there. Getting there. So I think the best thing to do now is eyes, because the eyes are so gosh darn important. I'm going to go use my medium round brush on this. I'm going to go ahead and mix some titanium, get some more titanium white on my board. This is going to be very, very tricky. So I'll show you my reference again for those who are watching. Here we are. Notice the eyes. Very smoky mascara going on. I don't really want white here. I really don't. Yeah, I really don't need white, but I need the power of white. But I don't actually want them white, right? We want those eyes to be sort of gray. So they have to be something like big old circles of gray. I'm kind of going a little painting outside the lines here because I want to come back and do a lot of mascara touch-ups here. Okay, and then I'm going to come in here with some dark and then kind of bring the lines back. This is not good. I am not doing a good job. I'm going to choose a smaller brush. This is going to take I am not finishing this tonight, guys. You know that. This is going to be like maybe another 5 or 6 hours after this done today. Like, absolutely needs to be polished way more today, and we hopefully just to get the details into place. It'd be nice just to kind of like lay down some details. That's not too bad. Let's do some eyeballs. And I think her eyes are kind of a dark blue, kind of a silvery blue. let's see, maybe if I try that. They have to come all the way down there. And then this one. Oh, I've screwed it up already. I've ruined it. I have ruined it. It is ruined. It is ruined. I have to come back and fix some of these eyes. Eyes are tricky, but they are really important. So I need to go back. Oh God, that's terrible. That's absolutely dreadful. How dare I do this? Should be shot and quartered for these eyes. They are so bad. Click click. Those eyes. The eyes. They do nothing. Hey, I'm trying to stream while I'm doing this. It's not easy. I'm gonna bring back some of those. I also want the round part a little bit off of the top because I do want I want I want that little look of shock and surprise. Well, it is what it is. So, trying to see what it's sort of a gray, very like light sort of gray. The mascara, like I said, smoky. So I'm not sure how I can accomplish other than just kind of slowly adding more black to it, and then just kind of feathering it as much as we can. I'm not doing a great job. I'm probably getting tired because trying to speak while also painting is very, very difficult. And you're like, oh, it's not that difficult, John. You try it. Try it. I dare you. I double dog dare you. I find that if you outline the iris, the iris a little bit, helps create a little bit of separation that kind of creates that look to it. And let's go ahead and put the pupil in there. And I'll probably end up doing these eyes again, you know. The pupil, pupil, and then you've got to do the catch lights in the eyes. So important. Like in paintings, so important to add a catch light. Even if there isn't one, always add the catch light. I think on the camera it looks worse. In person, when I'm looking at it directly, it looks a little bit better. Oh, I'm definitely going to have to fix this up considerably. I screwed up the eyes. This eye needs to be bigger. There we go, something like that. It's very anime eyes almost. Still at 12 viewers. People are still watching this thing. Alright. Let's go back and do a little more on the... Just going to put some more shadow detail on some of this stuff here. There we go. Kind of come in here a little bit more smoke. The smoky eye effect here. I really need to get this really thin black. Kind of create this smokiness in the eyes. I gotta feather the crap out of this thing. It does look very anime. Very, very anime at this point. What are we at? 12 viewers? Or? Let's do the lips for the hell of it. just so I can say I did some lips. Kiss them pretty lips. Let's go with, I have a primary red somewhere in here. Scarlet? Scarlet might work. I just bought like a primary red. You see my bald head? You probably are. That's not my problem. Oh, let's see here. Where'd my primary red go? Dang it. Oh, well. Guess we're using Scarlet. That's okay. I don't give a damn. Frankly, my dear. Oh, here's primary red. It just looks like a magenta. Let's try the prime. Well, I think Scarlet's going to be the winner here. Yep, Scarlet's going to be more of our color, I think. It's a tad bit of black, a tad bit of black in there. I think that's going to be the color of her lips. Yeah, I'm going with that color. And her lips are right here. And they are big and round. Something like they come to a sharp point. Yeah, something like that. Alright, see the missing thing from the expression now also is the eyebrows, which are going to give that shock and surprise look. Basically, this is a YouTube thumbnail expression. And it goes something like that, I believe. And this is going to come up like that. Feel like that needs to just try to blend it with brown, and it does feel very cartoony. Somewhere along there, it does look a little drag queen at this point. It's a little too drag queeny. Oy vey. All right, well, that's why we constantly fix and fix and fix. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and keep moving and keep doing some work on the nose. What medium? Acrylic, yeah. Any references to start? I would say start with acrylics. Acrylics are fun. Like I don't do oils because I don't know. I'm scared of oil. I am very frightened of working with oil because it looks like a pain in the butt to clean up, and I don't like cleaning anything up. I am not a cleaner. I'm not paid to clean. Alright, and then nostrils will be like right there and right there. Well, thanks for joining us for our boo high frame rate. Yeah, I know I'm using 30 frames per second. It's funny because most of my work right now is actually 30 frames a second. Because I do a lot of live stuff. And live works better in 30 because it just is. But if you're doing if I record if I record something on a camera or something like that, then I'll do 24. If I'm recording it for editing late, like recording and I'll edit and all that jazz later with it, then it's 24. Yep. Definitely screwing shit up. It's not bad. Feather it. Need to come back here. But yeah, no, when I do like live streaming or live anything, it's usually 30. It just life works better when you just kind of leave things in 30. Yeah, it's getting there. You guys can see it better there. So he's looking more like a lady. It's one of those things where it just takes more and more approach to it. Did I start from the center? I started with Ernie P. Varney's face at the very beginning, and then I worked my way back. Ernest P. Varney. Hey, Vern. Hey, Vern. I think I need to make this more yellow. I should add some yellow too. We can add a little bit of yellow. I got light coral. Let's try that. Let's put a little light coral in there. Light coral with mix that with my skin tone. And see how that comes out. That might be what I need. Kind of like. And then I want to blend into this. I don't really want that cheekbone to be that pronounced. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a ton of blending here. Ton of blending. Tons and tons and tons of blending here to get this softer. Because I said, like women's faces, I like them very smoky and soft. There's going to be a lot of blending involved here. Okay. Yes. I don't know. I've been reading some. I mean, I look at comments every day, and sometimes I get a little like annoyed with some comments. Like I didn't, especially not a big fan of like one commenter who's been regular said some things about that CEO shooter that I was not a fan of. Not a fan of killing people. For real, that is. Do it in the movies. So the story, if I haven't told it, about how I started painting portraits. I took an art class after I broke up with this girl. So I wanted to get back out there. I wanted to get out there, period. And I thought, well, maybe art would be I've always wanted to paint stuff. Let's try painting. So I found an adult art class. And I was doing the art thing for a bit. I was doing the class assignments. And one day, I don't like that. That definitely gives me that drag queen appearance. Well, one day, it was just me in class. No one else showed up in the class. And so the teacher asked me, what do you want to do? It's just you. You can kind of guide the class. What do you want to do today? I'm like, well, I love the paintings of Drew Struzan. I love the movie posters of Drew Struzan, right? Like, I want to try painting like that. And so he showed me some tricks. Like, the one was the carbon paper transfer trick. And I did a really challenging painting at first. Way too challenging. I threw it away. I did not like the way it looked. But I got hooked. I'm like, oh, you can do this. This makes sense, right? I'm adding some shadow on this cheek here, and so it got me started on paintings. And the next day, next art class, I'm like, hey, can I do another portrait? I want to try again. And I did a little more easier one of Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood. And that got me hooked on it. And I immediately discovered that I really like doing portraits. I like doing human faces. Like human faces to me were were fun. This is like I don't really like doing anything else. I don't like landscapes. I don't like still life. I like portraits. You know, and I don't know. I mean, I guess people are afraid of doing portraits because I think if you fail, it's obvious. Oops, shit. Pay attention, John. When you do a portrait and it doesn't look like a human being, you know you failed. It's very obvious, you know, that you failed at your portraiture. Well, I lucked out. The people I drew. I mean, I've done drawings before. I've drawn cartoons and I've done. Yeah, I've never done painting, but I've done stuff like this. Well, you know, lucked out that most of my paintings do end up looking like people, at very least. Oh, 6 viewers. Click, 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 clack. Medium, not so smiley faces. So, yeah, that's the story of how I started painting. Going for a little more of a chin here. What else can I do? Alright. I'm going to need to blend a lot more. A lot more blending to do. A lot more blending. But this is a good start. This is a good start. I'm happy with where we're at so far. I'll do a little bit more before I quit. I am getting a little tired because it's draining to have to talk and paint at the same time. Usually what I do is I'll throw on a podcast. I've been doing, actually what I'll do is I'll listen to Kill Tony when I'm doing these. I find it's kind of a funny way to just relax with painting and just let. And also the reason why I listen to a podcast is oftentimes I'm using a reference that's on my computer, and luckily when YouTube is open, the screen will stay on. I want to do a glass mat painting. Oh, there you go. See, I would not be good at that because I'm not very good at. Well, I'm not. I don't try still life that much, so I don't know if I could create the realism needed for a matte painting. But I mean, it'd be kind of fun to do a matte painting, right? So I think my art teacher said once I get enough of these, we can try to do like a show at my city. That's not too bad. It's not too bad. Kind of want a little more separation here. Oh, you're just blinking just interacting with the chat, still here watching? Yeah, well, thank you. I think I'll go a little darker on that skin tone. You know, I've thought about doing like a nude. But the problem is, where would I hang it? Not that I mean, I can hang it in my bedroom, but I do have some nude photographs in my bedroom that of art photos I've done. But painting nudes are a little bit A little bit more different. But I think it'd be fun to do one. I think this, we're going to need to come back out and do a little bit more of a shadow. Like down here. Something like that. And my brush is a little dry. Get a little wetter. There we go. Get some shadow. There's a lot of shadow detail here that I'm not attacking yet. So I'm just going to kind of lay down some base shadow before I go ahead, and I'll do that probably another day. Alright, what else can I do? Let's see here. Maybe a little more dark on that shadow. On this cheek right here. Oof, it's too much. Too much. You guys tell that's Jim Varney? I don't know. It's a little. I'm going to sit for a while and think about whether that's Jim Varney or not. it's it's uh still not, I don't know. I don't know if I buy that as Jim Varney. I might have to kind of come back and I'll have to sit with it for a little bit and think about it. Like, what am I missing? But that's kind of the fun in these kind of paintings. They take a long time, but it, my favorite part of filmmaking is the refining process. I like to refine. Like, I don't like. I hate the. I don't this. I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't like the assembly process. Like, assemblies to me are something you need to get over in order to get to the refinement stage. And refining is what I like to do. I like refining stuff. I like color grading. I like I like what I'm doing now, which is right now adding like little details and here and there. Or finding those little things that kind of make things pop a little bit more. That's what I like doing. But laying down the first coat, it's not terribly fun. Because I think the refining process is then you can start seeing the end result, and you're starting to see where we're going with it. What do I think of King Kong, 1933? I think King Kong 33 is one of those movies that you really, if you don't, if you like film history, if you like effects, like King Kong is probably one of the best to watch because there's so much going on in the effects department, right? There's so much going on in the King Kong 1933. It's like just when you think you figured out how they did something, they the next shot's something completely different because there's just so much mastery at work there. So that's what I think. I mean, I think King Kong is amazing. That the 1933 version. I mean, I absolutely. I tell my students this, and if you, it's worth just like sitting down and watching, even watching some of the behind the scenes stuff, and or not behind the scenes, but like the making of stuff, just so you can see what all went into it, because there's a lot that went into 1933 King Kong. You know, a ton that went into it. I'm just kind of I'm making shit up here with this rouge. I don't even know if I'll kind of blend it here with the paper towel. But so much going on with King Kong that I mean you can spend hours and hours going down rabbit holes on how they did all the effects. It's remarkable. It's absolutely like amazing. So that's what I think. I highly recommend it for people that are interested in filmmaking to watch. Definitely, definitely something to what look out for. Need to get some more shadow on that nose. I'm happy with where we're going with this painting. It's definitely even the girl's face is better than I thought I would be able to pull off today. I guess I'm getting better at these paintings. Nice thing about the girl is she's not a famous actress, so I can have some liberties with her face. Less liberties with Jim Verney, but although, as I said before, I feel like I can do male faces better than I can do female faces. Because I think female faces require a lot more attention. A lot more attention to detail. Whereas male faces, I feel like I can just get away with being a little more painterly with them. Whereas female faces, I feel like I really gotta like blend. I gotta like get everything to look right. So the name of this painting is The Importance of Being Earnest. The Importance of Being Ernest P. Worville. That's the story. That's the story. I'm sticking to it. I feel like that face. I feel like I'm pretty satisfied with where that face ended up being. So now, I don't know, what time is it? How long? It's 11 o'clock. Holy moly! It's already 11 o'clock. Well, I think I'm gonna call it then. That's a good. That's a good start. That's a good start. Maybe put a little bit of a highlight on his hat. There is a little line that goes underneath the hat. It's like a gold trim line. Let me go ahead and brush it up here. I mean, I think that I can kind of live with a little more painterly approach to this particular painting. Ugh, I screwed that up. It's okay, I can come back with a little bit of blue and touch it up. Ugh, I should have kept my mouth shut. Ah. Yeah, no, I feel like definitely feel worn out because I was trying to talk while I'm painting, and it's very difficult to pull off the talking and painting at the same time. So definitely worn out doing this, but I'm pretty happy with the results so far. Like I feel like I'm getting there. There's still a lot more to do. I want to do frills on the bow tie down here. Still not satisfied with that face quite yet. I don't know what it is. Um, Still not quite there yet. But, you know, it's one of those things where it'll take like several more hours, several more details, and just refining, refining, refining. Oh shit. I am getting blue in there. I didn't wash my brush good enough. Probably do need to stop and let some things kind of dry. There we go. Dry and so I can blend it a little bit better. Whew. What do you guys think? You know, and look, this is still I'm in my junior year, I think. Maybe my sophomore year of painting here. or not my sophomore year, but my sophomore level of painting. Or not quite. No, nope. You know, you've seen the pictures of the progression of Picasso. Like Picasso started off, he was a great like super ingenious, like not ingenious, super good like realism painter. He painted very realistic. As the years went on, he became more and more art like he started doing more and more abstract stuff. Like I'm not quite Picasso level yet. Yeah, I'm not Picasso as a young man Picasso level yet. But I'm definitely there's just some things I need to fix in terms of like the the geometry. Part of it's like bringing some of the chin back. Ernest P. Warvel. Oh, you. The importance of being Ernest P. Warvel. I just love faces. Like Bob Ross can have his trees. Give me faces any day of the month, any day of the week. Faces every time. Trying to get this chin a little bit more, a little more lined up there. Ah, I see. The eye also feels like I need to come down a little bit more with the eye. That helped a lot. I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that little catch light. That helps. And then this eyebrow can go further down. And then you should come. I said I was going to go ahead and quit, but I'm not quitting. Still working away. Still doing stuff. There we go. Something like that. I can't help myself. Uh-oh. Need to keep that brush clean, John. The Terminator had some nice stop motion. I want to see more of that, but too many people would say it's janky. Yeah, stop motion animation for a special effect, I mean, it really isn't used unless it's doing for a stylistic purposes. Like, you're never going to see stop motion done if your goal is realism. Obviously, today it's CGI. And look, let's be honest, it's just the way it is. But if you're going to go for like a particular style, that's different. Like the Beetlejuice movie I was talking about earlier. Like Beetlejuice definitely went for the style of the stop motion animation rather than doing a CGI sandworm effect because the original had the sandworm, the CGI sandworm. So it's definitely got its place. But yeah, you're never gonna see it done as a excuse me, as a effect that's meant to be realistic, photorealistic. I love doing highlights because just highlights somehow just make things work. I can't stop myself. I'm still painting, even though I said I was going to quit like 10 minutes ago. Like I'm enjoying the process of just adding little tiny white detail like highlights, and it makes things sort of pop a little bit more. It adds that realism that I was looking for. Maybe like a little bit. Yeah, yeah. Now we're talking. Well, I got a little bit of white there. Yeah, that's starting to get there. Starting to get there. This is, I mean, this is good for a first night progress. This is good for first go. It'll only get better. It'll only get better. I think we need to do a little Ernest P. Worrell. Get a little bit better angle on it. It's not terrible. It looks better in person than it does on camera. It just does. But that ear, I swear to God, ears are the death of me. I do not like painting ears. I just don't like doing it. Just gotta spend time with it. I think that's all it is. Just gotta spend the time. Do the damn ear right, John. Do the damn ear right. That's the problem. I can't do the ears. Not good with ears. Never will be with that attitude, as they say. Let's go ahead and just kind of soften these darks. Never be good with ears. Dark brown. And come down with a little bit more black. Better than it was before, but still a long ways away. Well, for some of you, I'm sure it's Christmas Eve. Excuse me. So Merry Christmas Eve to a lot of yous. Hope your holiday is nice and blessed and warm. It's an ear. No one's going to be saying like, well, you know, John, that's not what Ernest P. Worrell's ear looks like. And they're probably, I mean, there might be some ear aficionados, Batistas and aficionados of the ear. The auto. Just trying to see if I can blend a little bit of a black in there. Yeah, something like that. Aficionado. Anyhow, I'm babbling. My brain is quite fried because this is not easy to do all this stuff at one time. It's much easier just to chat and rather than try to paint and chat at the same time. You know what? Her chin's too thick. John will never give up. Never give up. Never surrender. Bring back a little bit of tone back into her neck. There, I ruined it. I'm sorry. I am definitely getting tired. It's 11 o'clock. I'm definitely getting a little tired here. So let me wrap this up here. And I'll do like a little necklace right here too. So, but that we'll do later. All right. Well. What have we here? Santa Claus, huh? Well, I'm so stinking scared. I can't stop, guys. I cannot stop. I need to stop, but I can't. That's a good start. Well, it's a good start for tonight. Probably work on it a little bit tomorrow. And yeah. Can you show the reference before you good? Yes, I can. So this is my reference photo. So it is an AI composite. Here we go. That's what I'm going for, is the reference composite. And there are some subtle things that are not quite there yet that I need to address. Let me see if I can get my painting kind of so you can see it a little bit flatter. And let me go and zoom up a little bit. Whoops. This thing's super touchy. Let's see. So that's my reference photo. I'm going for, you know. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get my camera to position properly. And it's not behaving. Okay, that's good enough. All right, and that's where I am now. So, it's there. It's on its way. Still a ways to go. Still some little tiny. Looking at like the mouth shape is probably a little. I need to probably fix the mouth shape. It's going down here, whereas here it's kind of going up a little bit more. So I probably need to address that, and that'll kind of help it out a little bit more. I think that will definitely help. Oh, you're making me want to do this right now. So that's what I'm. That's where I'm heading, right? That's my direction. Directionally heading that direction. Um, it's funny, all you folks are starting to come in when I'm about ready to finish. All right, I think I'm going to just tackle. I just want to try something real quick with that mouth. I want to try to bring the mouth up a little bit more. And I think that might help the expression. If I bring it up. Yeah, it definitely helps. It's a minor thing, but it definitely creates a little more of what I was looking for, which is that kind of like that kind of smirky kind of thing going on. I think we need to bring up the lip here too, which I don't have any much vermilion left. Just trying to dry it out a little bit. So let's see if I can mix a little bit more. But yeah, that definitely helps. Yeah, definitely helps a little bit. If I go I mean, it's a little bit better. I think the bottom part needs to be flatter. Well, this whole thing needs to flatten out a little bit. They need to flatten, and then this lip portion over here needs to come down. I know. I want to say I want to stop, but I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping, and yet I need to stop and go to bed. Anyhow, I'm not sure I made it better. I think I made it worse. Well, I think this is a challenge for another day because my eyes and my brain are starting to get angry with me. But I'm pretty satisfied with where we're at tonight. So let's bring the camera over to me. Do 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 do. Hey. So if you didn't see my last painting, I showed it earlier. Whoa, hello. There's my paints. Let's bring the camera. Let's zoom out. Move the camera over to me. Up. There I am. No, don't go down there. No, I don't have sweatpants on. All right. We can up the oops, where are we? There we go. ISO up to like a bit brighter so you can actually see me. There we go. And then zoom in. There we are. All right, so I'll let my paints dry. Tomorrow I can go ahead and there we go. Tomorrow I can go ahead and clean them up after they've dried out a little bit. All right, so bright, bright, bright lights. Yep, painting is fun. It is fun. I enjoy painting tremendously. It calms me down. It's sort of meditative, and I really enjoy the results I get. They're just fun. Is that Jessica Rabbit? It sure is. It's a Jessica Rabbit, and it's a what else is back there? Camera, Batman. That's Valentine. There's a Wonder Woman back there. Ana de Armas right there. So, yeah, that Jessica Rabbit was one of the first things I ever painted and 3D printed. But yeah, so yep. All right. Well, as I said, I'm pretty darn exhausted. My brain is rotted. Merry Christmas. Maybe I might jump on again tomorrow if I'm feeling up for it and do some more painting on this part two. Part two. Oh yeah, I didn't show you. So this is the last painting I did, which I finished on last Monday, which is a Wednesday Adams. This is a Wednesday's Fat Tuesday. So this is what I mean, like when I was saying painting is about details. Like look at the work I did on that mask, right? It's like a little tiny little stripling to do all those little tiny jewels, and it really makes it like pop as a piece of art, or at least it gives it that sense of like, oh, that's a jeweled mask. Now, I'm probably going to take a similar approach with this particular painting because I do have a lot of detail in this work too. So I'm laying down the baseline here, but notice there's a lot of detail in the frills and all that stuff right here. So I'm going to probably doing some of that stripling effect. I may not do much with the hat as far as like detail work because I don't know if it's necessary, but we'll see. I'll see how I feel when I get to that point. I don't know what's going on down here, so I'm going to probably ignore that portion of it. But I'm going to go ahead and do a lot of the frill stuff. But yeah, so yeah, I I like detail, right? Detail is important, and if your work doesn't have details in it, then for me at least, it doesn't work. Like I want those little details for my eyes to sink their teeth into, if that makes any sense. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go off to bed, and we shall see you later. Hopefully, I'll stream later this week or something like that. And we'll talk to you later, guys. Take care. Bye.